Let's get right into it. Number 6. Actually listening. You know that thing where someone is talking, and you're nodding, making eye contact, throwing in a tasteful, yeah, while your brain is mentally drafting your response, your rebuttal, your anecdote, and maybe your grocery list? Congratulations, you're not listening, you're just waiting politely for your turn to speak. Actual listening is terrifyingly rare. Real listening means your brain shuts up long enough to let someone else finish a thought without you jumping in like, oh, same, or, that reminds me, no, sit, stay, listen. Most people don't realize how uncomfortable this is. Your brain hates silence. It hates not being the main character. So it fills the gap with interruptions, advice, or that one story about your cousin that absolutely does not help. Psychologically, your brain treats conversations like tennis matches instead of information downloads. You're constantly preparing to return the ball, not absorbing where it landed. And here's the wild part. When you actually listen, people notice immediately. They start saying things like, wow, you're really easy to talk to, or, I feel like you get me, when all you did was shut up and stay present. That's it. No wisdom, no solution, no TED Talk. Neuroscience-wise, listening takes effort. Your brain has to suppress its urge to respond, judge, fix, or escape. That's executive control, the same system you use to resist checking your phone at a red light, which explains a lot. Most people think they're good listeners because they're quiet while others talk. That's like saying you're a great chef because you stood near a stove once. Real listening means remembering details, asking follow-up questions that aren't just conversation glitter, and not hijacking the topic halfway through. Basically, listening is emotional cardio. Everyone assumes they're fit. Very few can actually run a mile without wheezing. Your brain isn't broken, it's just incredibly self-centered, and honestly, same. Number 5. Admitting you're wrong. There is nothing more physically painful for the human ego than realizing you're wrong mid-sentence. Your soul briefly leaves your body, your pride curls up like a burnt piece of paper. And suddenly, you are emotionally invested in defending a position you stopped believing in 30 seconds ago. Admitting you're wrong is so rare that when someone does it sincerely, the room goes quiet. People don't know how to react. It's like watching a unicorn apologize. Your brain treats being wrong as a threat to your identity. It's not just I made a mistake, it's I am a mistake, which is wildly dramatic but neurologically accurate. The same brain regions that process physical pain light up when your beliefs are challenged. So yeah, it hurts. That's why people double down. They argue semantics. They change the subject. They bring up unrelated examples from 2009. Anything to avoid saying, you're right, I messed up. The people who can admit they're wrong aren't weaker, they're safer. Their self-worth isn't glued to being correct. They can update their beliefs without feeling like they're erasing themselves. Psychologically, this requires separating your ideas from your identity. You are not your opinion. You are the thing having the opinion. That distinction alone is doing most of the heavy lifting. And the irony? Admitting you're wrong makes people trust you more. It lowers defenses. It turns arguments into conversations. But because it feels like social death in the moment, most people avoid it like it's radioactive. Basically, saying I was wrong doesn't make you smaller. It makes your ego finally sit down and stop screaming. Number 4. Staying calm. Picture this. Something minor goes wrong. The coffee machine makes a weird noise. Your email won't send. Someone says, we need to talk. And instantly, your nervous system hits the big red button labeled panic, even though nothing is actively on fire. Yet, staying calm sounds basic. It's not. It's absurdly rare. Most people don't realize how quickly their body hijacks the situation. Your heart rate spikes, your shoulders climb into your ears, and your brain starts narrating a disaster movie you did not buy tickets for. This isn't weakness, it's biology. Your brain evolved to treat uncertainty like a predator hiding in tall grass. The problem is that your brain never updated the software. 10-6, so now it responds to mildly annoying emails the same way it would to a charging lion. Fight, flee, or aggressively refresh the inbox. People who stay calm aren't emotionless robots. They still feel the stress response. Their heart still races. Their palms still sweat. The difference is they don't immediately obey it. They notice it. They pause. They don't let their nervous system grab the steering wheel and swerve into oncoming traffic. Psychologically, this is called emotional regulation, which sounds fancy, but really just means you don't let every feeling turn into an action scene. You experience the emotion without becoming it. Anger shows up, and you don't immediately send the text. Anxiety pops in, and you don't spiral into imaginary court testimony. Most people think calmness is a personality trait. It's not. It's a skill. A learned, practiced, painfully earned skill that involves breathing, perspective, and not assuming the worst within 3 seconds of mild discomfort. That's why calm people seem intimidating. It looks like confidence, wisdom, or secret knowledge, but half the time, they're just buying themselves a few extra seconds before reacting. Basically, staying calm is your brain saying, I acknowledge the chaos, but I refuse to let it drive. Number 3. Asking good questions. Most people ask questions the way they microwave leftovers, fast, lazy, and mostly just to get through the moment. How are you? What do you do? Did you like it? These aren't questions. They're conversational potholes everyone politely drives around. Asking a genuinely good question is rare because it requires curiosity without ego. You're not fishing for validation. You're not steering the conversation back to yourself. You actually want to know the answer, even if it doesn't benefit you socially. Your brain, however, loves questions that are secretly statements. Things like, don't you think that was kind of weird? Translation, please agree with me immediately. Good questions do the opposite. They leave space. They don't assume. They don't corner. Psychologically, good questions activate deeper thinking in the other person. Instead of autopilot responses, their brain has to search, reflect, organize thoughts. That's why people remember conversations where someone asked something thoughtful. It made them feel seen instead of scanned. This skill shows up everywhere: interviews, friendships, dating, therapy, even arguments. A well-placed, "What made you feel that way?" can diffuse tension faster than 10 defensive explanations. The rarest part? Listening to the answer without jumping in. A good question followed by impatience ruins the magic. That's just interrogation. People who ask good questions aren't more interesting, they make other people interesting. And that's a social cheat code most people never unlock. Basically, a good question is curiosity with manners. Number 2, remembering names. For something that sounds so basic, remembering names is wildly uncommon. You can remember song lyrics from 2006, but the name of the person you met 5 minutes ago? Gone. Vanished. Spiritually erased. This isn't because you're bad with names, it's because your brain doesn't prioritize them. Names are arbitrary sounds with no inherent meaning, so unless your brain attaches them to something, they slide right off. People who are good at remembering names don't have better memory. They have better attention at the moment of introduction. They actually hear the name instead of thinking, oh no, I need to remember this. There's also a social fear component. When you're anxious, your brain focuses on how you're being perceived, not on incoming information. So you miss the name because you're busy managing eye contact, posture, and whether you're smiling too much. Remembering someone's name signals respect, even if you don't mean it that way. It tells their brain, you mattered enough to store. That's why forgetting a name feels personal, even when it's not. The trick isn't memory hacks, it's presence, repeating the name, using it in a sentence, actually caring, for 5 seconds. Basically, remembering names isn't a memory flex, it's an attention flex. Number 1. Sitting with discomfort. Your body will do almost anything to avoid discomfort. Scroll, snack, joke, change the subject, apologize when you didn't need to, anything to make the weird feeling stop. But sitting with discomfort is one of the rarest and most powerful skills there is. It means not immediately fixing, numbing, or escaping what you're feeling. Emotionally, discomfort is information. It tells you something matters, something's misaligned, or something needs attention. When you immediately shut it down, you lose the message. People who can tolerate discomfort don't enjoy it. They just don't panic about it. They let the feeling exist without turning it into a crisis or a personality trait. This shows up in awkward silences, tough conversations, grief, uncertainty, and change. Most people rush to fill the space. Rare people let the space do its work. Your nervous system learns from this. The more you allow discomfort without reacting, the less threatening it feels over time. You're teaching your brain that not everything unpleasant equals danger. Basically, discomfort is your brain knocking. You don't have to slam the door. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them.